Good evening, everyone, and thank you for tuning into another episode of the Bearded IT Dad, where we give you advice and insight on how to grow your career in the IT field. Tonight, we have very special access. We have special access to INE's labbing platform, their network simulators. So tonight, we're going to take a deep dive in, work on some networking labs for some Cisco certifications, and a whole bunch more after this. Good evening and welcome back, everyone. Thank you again for tuning in to another episode of the Bearded IT Dad. Everyone files in, I'm going to start getting ready for our live stream this evening. As always, if you guys have any questions, comments about the IT field, whether it's about what certifications you should get or resume advice or anything like that, feel free to let me know in the chat and we'll answer your questions live on the stream. If you're watching this on the replay, make sure and put your questions in the comments and we'll try to get back to every single one of you. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from tonight. We are tuning in here from Oregon. Wonderful Oregon here. Sorry, I think I'm having some audio issues. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. While I get this sorted out. All right, awesome. Thank you. Just trying to. Well, hopefully it's all good now. Let's just get everything back up and going. I apologize. Seems like every week we have some issues. Okay. If you guys can hear and see me okay, just let me know in chat. Back on. Awesome. So here I've actually logged into a static routing lab from INE. This is actually for the Cisco CCDE, Cisco Certified. Gosh, I totally just spaced there. Was it design expert? Yeah, Cisco Certified Design Expert. This is a little bit of an advanced lab we're going to be working on, but it's kind of cool. So we're going to work through the process and see what we can do. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. Also, if you guys haven't signed up for our Linux Foundation core or giveaway, the Linux Foundation bundle giveaway we are doing this week, the link is down in the description. Definitely, guys, go over and sign up. The keyword you'll need is also in the description. It is Debian. We are actually, during the live stream tonight, we are going to be picking the winner and announcing it. Sorry, guys, I'm a little under the weather right now, just getting over a cold, but we're going to be picking the winner tonight and announcing it here live on the live stream. So also, if you guys haven't signed up, even probably a bigger giveaway we're doing is our INE premium membership giveaway. This is actually going on until Christmas Eve. INE is actually giving away 10 premium memberships to their online e-learning platform. It's an amazing giveaway, and a huge shout out and big thank you to them. Link for that is also in the description below with the keywords. So guys, go over there, sign up for the giveaway. This is some amazing opportunities to get some hands-on learning experience. So let's go back into this lab here and take a look at it. Guess it's still being built, so we'll check in on it here in a second. How's everyone doing tonight? Where are you guys on your certification journey? Are you guys currently studying for any IT certifications? Let me know in the chat. And if you are studying for certifications, what are you using to study? Are you self-studying with like YouTube, books? Are you using something like CBT Nuggets or something like that? Let me know. Okay, so here's our lab environment. Guys, this is so cool that INE offers this. It makes it really, really awesome for building these labs and doing this. One thing we're going to work on is some static routes in between some different devices. Right here, one of our tasks is router 8 and 10 are pre-configured as DHCP servers for 8 hosts, or host 8 and 10. Request a DHCP lease with the UDHCPC CLI command on host 8 and 10. They should be assigned the IP address of 155.1.8.100/24 and 155.1.10.100/24 respectively. So let's take a look at this. So we have router 8 and 10 here. Let me know if you guys can see this okay. If I need to make it bigger. Is that better for you guys? Excuse me. Okay. I apologize. So let's see if we can get so we need request a DHCP lease with the UDHCPC CLI command. Interesting. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong spot here. I'm going to be in the CLI of... There we go. There we go. So this received 8 like it should. Okay. Now let's go ahead and get in the CLI of our other host here. So how do you begin networking coding? Just like I am right now. You know, you start studying. The easiest way and the best way to measure your progress is to start studying for a certification. So networking and coding can kind of go hand in hand. Are you interested in studying for a certification, like a networking coding, like using Python and stuff like that? What I personally probably do, if you're looking into networking, I would start studying for your CCNA. And INE is a great platform for that. But I would start studying for your CCNA and start working on it from there. Excuse me. There's also tons of other platforms out there you can study for your CCNA. There's even YouTube courses out there. So I'd start studying for a certification. All right, so we got our other lease here. Let's see. All right, let's look at our next steps. Configure R8 with a static route for the IPv4 address 155.1.10.0//24 towards route 10. So we need to configure this router with the static route towards router 10. Interesting. So let's pull up the CLI here. And let's do IP. Oops. IP route. And then what's our IP address again? 155.1.10.0. No. Yeah. Okay, and then it's a /20. It's a /24. So, and then I do believe we're going to point it towards router 10. So we'd point it towards 155.8.10. Oh, I know what I'm doing wrong. I'm not even in the right spot. There we go. Yeah, I needed the config T. Sorry, I'm a little under the weather. I'm getting over this cold and my brain's a little fuzzy, but I really wanted to get in here and do some actual stuff instead of just talking on a live stream. I mean, if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. Right now, I'm just working through some of INE's virtual labs. This is the networking environment we're working on right now. and we're just working through some different tasks that INE has given us that they would like us to do. So going back in here. Very good advice here. For those of you who don't know, typing config T is short for configure terminal that brings you to the global configuration mode. I should have prefixed that as well. So right now I'm typing in, it wants us to, so right now the lab wants us to, in this router, in router 8, configure a static route that directs all traffic from host 8 to router 10. Not quite sure why. It seems kind of like a silly path for me, but we're going to go ahead and do what the lab tells us to do. So right now I'm putting in the IP address of host 8, which is 155.110.0 to, and then it's a /24, so 255.255.255.0. Here, hopefully that's a little bit easier for you guys to see. All right, and then our IP address of router 10, I'm just pulling it up here so I can verify. Well, here, let's go through, we can go through the other process. Much better. Okay, awesome. So the IP address of router 10 is 155.1.108.10. So that's just a simple static route, and we can exit the configuration and do a show run, short for show running config, and it will show us the running configuration of this router, and we should be able to see. Just want to make sure I don't pass this. Oops, totally just passed it. Here is that static route we just configured in the running configuration. So one thing to remember with Cisco devices, and it's just good to get in habit of, I don't know if it'll let me do it here, but you always write your running configurations to memory, because as soon as the Cisco device loses power, that running configuration is gone. So we'll just do a write mem. That will write the current running configuration to memory. Just a good habit. As soon as you're done and you know all your configurations are good, just issue the right memory config. So otherwise, the next time the router loses power or is power cycled, it will lose its configuration. Okay, next step. It wants us to configure router 10 with a IPv4 default static route towards router 8. So pretty much just do the exact same thing we just did on this router on router 10. Control++. Apparently it doesn't like that. Here. Hopefully you guys can see a little bit better. All right, so we're gonna first thing we're gonna get into configure terminal. So config T. You know we're in the configuration terminal by this prompt here. So you notice it went from the pound symbol or the hashtag to this config. So There's several different levels of access in the Cisco CLI. It looks like the way it's set up, we're just actually right at the configure terminal. So there's the user level, then there's the configuration level, and then you have the configure terminal. All right, so we're going to do another static route here. So IP route, and then we're going to point, let's see. Cisco has been trying to depreciate RAM memory forever. It will never go away. They want you to use the copy running config startup copy. Yeah, I know that's what they want you to use, but I can guarantee you 90% of people out there use the right memory. The risk is that that if you get it backwards, you overwrite the running configuration with the startup configuration. True. Oh, okay. So where were we? Let me pull up my notes here. Where was I? I apologize. Oh. Configure router 10 with an IPv4 static route. Oh, so it just wants a IPv4 static route. Okay. So it just wants to send all traffic to router 8. So we're going to do 0.0.0.0 255 0, and then we're going to send all that traffic to 155.1.108.8. All right, so we can ping router 8, and every time I exit out, it's going to get small again, darn it. Oops. 108.10. I can successfully ping router 10. So the exclamation point is a successful ping. So it sends 5 pings by default. And 5 exclamation points means all 5 pings had a went through. It had a success rate of 100%. So now our 2 routers are talking to each other, and my screen just went blank. Okay, there we go. Okay, once completed, host 8 and host 10 should be able to ping each other. Well, let's actually get down on the hosts down here and try to ping at each other. Because the first step we did was configure IP addresses. Actually, I don't know. Yeah, we did configure them on both. So let's ping. Okay, so what's going on here? Let's see if I can minimize this. So right now we got a ping going from host 8, traveling through the routers to host 10. So we successfully established communication between the 2 devices. And just to confirm, even though it should work because host 10 is responding to host 8's ping, I'm just going to do it again over here. 155.1.10.100. Oh, hold on. I'm pinging myself. No wonder that's working. Interesting. So obviously the traffic isn't going through here, even though you can see it's obtained an IP address and everything. I don't know what kind of system this is running. Interesting. You know, I'm not quite sure what the gateway is, to be honest with you. This lab didn't tell me what the gateway was. I can try to ping, let's see, ping the router. 155.1. What's the router's address again? Can I look it up? Sorry, a total brain fart here. Okay, ping is 155.108.10. So I can ping the router, it looks like. Let's see if I can ping the other router, router 8. Router 8 ends in 8. So, interesting. So I'm able, from host 10, which is where we're at now, I'm able to ping router 10 and router 8, but I'm not able to ping host 8. Let's... Oops. So let's see if this can ping the router on this side. Ping 155.1.108.8. So interesting. I can ping the router. On host 8, I was pinging myself. The 108 address here is the address of this router. Because see, the address of this guy is 155.1.8.100 and 155.1.108.8 is the router. What interface? Gig 2 is on the router. So what's it? No. Let's look at the router configuration. I have a feeling I may have screwed up on the IP routes. Show. Can I just do a show on IP route? Just a connection sheet. Oh, come on. So IP address is directly connected there. Yeah, that's interesting. It should be working just fine. At least from what I can tell. Because you can see our S here is for static. We got our static route. Gateway of last resort via router 8. And let's go ahead and check router 8. So there's our static route saying if you're trying to get to the 10 network, go to router 10. This is interesting. It looks like everything should be configured properly. What do you think, my little land? I don't know if that makes it easier for you to see. Oh, my head's in the way. Sorry, I'm trying to zoom in here. It's being dumb. I think the issue's on router 8. Let's work through this. Had an amazing start. Keep it going. Absolutely. Let's we'll work through this. So I think my little land is right that our issue was on router 8 here. I think it has something to do with our static route. It keeps on closing on me. So let's close group. Okay, so let's see if we can ping host 10 just out of curiosity. Ping 155.1.10.100. See, router 8 can ping host 10. That's what's interesting to me. So it is able, it knows the route. It's able to communicate. But on host 8, the actual computer here, when I try to ping 155.1.10.100, doesn't go through. Got our IP address. Check your DHCP settings. Oops. Host. Close. Check the D. On router 8, you see no default gateway. Because I don't think it's. I don't think it's supposed to be getting out. I don't think it, for this part of the lab, it doesn't need a default gateway. Let's pull up here. Let's try to make this bigger so you guys can see it better. So default route is 8.8. It looks like everything's configured properly. It's the default router. Is the default router on gig 8? So GI0.2 is this interface here that's connected to host 8. So really all we're trying to do is get these two computers being able to communicate with each other. So this thing, sorry, it's being a pain. I'm going to read back over this lab and see if I missed anything. All right, so let's run through what we did. So we have our IP route. We've created our IP route on our static route here. This static route here is saying any traffic sent to this router. So it is 108.10. So that makes sense. That is proper. Because this router is able to ping this device. And then, but it's just this host here. So it's got to be something with this connection between the host and the router. Because, let's actually, here. I'll just open another window. Let's try to ping router 10, because I can ping router 8. Interesting. So this device can ping host router 8, but it cannot ping router 10. So there's our issue. It is the configuration. But I do believe on host 10 here, I could ping both of the routers. Just to add another layer of weirdness. 155.1.18.10. Oh, I don't know why I put the show there. So see, I'm pinging router 10. And I can ping router 8 because this has a gateway of last result as router 8, so that makes sense. Use host 8 to hit gig 01 on router 10, then use host 8 to gig 01 on router 8. Then you can ping. Oops. Host 8. I use interfaces so I can tell where you're losing the path. Makes sense. Let's not forget this is 10 times harder when you're streaming. Absolutely. All right. I like my little Land's idea. Let's trace this out. Let's go step by step. All right. So here's our host 8. I apologize here. Let me get my windows all in order. Okay, host 8 right here. Then router 8. Okay. Let's get the IP addresses of our interfaces. So let's just try right here first. Let's try for gigs 0-2. Which our IP address is right there. So I believe this will work. No problem. Oh, I see. I had an extra period in there. Okay. Okay, so that works. So we know we can talk to this interface. Let's try for this interface. So I do believe we already did this. And it worked. Yep, so we're good there. So I just realized that I'm covering part of the window. My bad. Oh, and so is the comment. I'm sorry. All right, there we go. All right, so we've been able to ping this interface 2 and 1. Let's try to ping router 10 interface 0 and see what we get. Let's look up, oops, that's host 10. Let's look up this interface. Okay. Let me just rearrange my windows here. My bad. Okay. Make this bigger so you guys can read. See, this is what networking is all about here when you're troubleshooting networking issues. Okay, so we're gonna do a show run. Oh no, we're gonna do a show. Man, my brain is in a fog right now. Show IP brief. Show IP INT brief. Oops. Okay, so we're going to try to ping this interface here. Which this is where it should fail because I think we failed here before. Okay, so we don't have communication here. It is failing at this interface. So yep, it lost packets here. So my question is it the route on router 8 or is it the route on router 10? I would think the route on router 8 is our problem. There we go. But you would think you can also ping from an interface too. True. But see, from router 8, I'm able to ping router 10. So I'm able to ping. This is what's not making sense to me. 10. That is working. This router can ping that interface. That's what. What am I missing here? My little land. What am I missing in my command here? I should just have you come on the stream. Don't leave me hanging, my little land. What's the command we need here to ping from an interface? It is more fun. Well, you know what? Let's do this the way you would do it. It's passing the ping command, but I am blanking on what's the command to ping from an actual interface. So Steve Rogers, welcome. Is it the Steve Rogers, the Captain America Steve Rogers? We are just working through some Cisco labs on INE, trying to do some troubleshooting what our issue is here. Oh, ping source. Let's try that. Interesting. So from this interface, we can't ping there at this interface here. From this interface we can, but not from that interface. So that's got to be a route issue. Good evening. Thanks for doing this. Do you see yourself taking this exam? Probably not. This is a Cisco related exam, and in my current line of work, I do nothing Cisco related. We are completely using Juniper and Adtran, which is similar to Cisco CLI, but in my job role, I don't use any Cisco devices, so really taking a Cisco's exam doesn't really make sense to me. But I am studying for Juniper exams, which is similar to this. Does INE have any labs for CCNA prep? They do, and this is actually part of what the labs look like. This is for Cisco CCDE, but they do have Cisco CCNA labs that look just like this and work just like this. That's why we're going through them. All I had access to was this set of labs, unfortunately, for this live stream. So that's why I'm working on this. But it's something you'd see really similar. Okay, so working through this with my little LAN. He's suggesting on router 10 ping source GE1 on router 10. Okay, so from here, what are you suggesting there? I'm confused. Are you suggesting ping from GE1? Oh. The carrots don't work. Sorry, hold up. What's going on? What did I miss there? So we're having an issue from this interface here pinging to this interface. So to me that says there's got to be a route issue here. Do you understand that this is real networking architecture that can be applied to any network, be it cloud or physical, and vendor neutral? Absolutely, I do realize that. And Cisco is really the gold standard when it comes to networking. Just what I was saying is it doesn't make sense for me to get a Cisco certification when my long-term employer uses Juniper. It makes more sense for me to get the Juniper equivalent certification, and because they're more likely to and willing to pay for that than a Cisco certification, is what I was trying to say. Okay. Ping GI, so gigabit 2 from gigabit 1. I do believe that's what he said. And either way, I'm going to do that. So we're going to ping. Double check our IP address there. Okay, so we're going to ping 155.1.8.8, which is the address of this. We're going to ping it from GI 0.1, which is this interface here. I'm pretty sure it's going to fail. Now I'm curious, can I ping this interface here, gig 1? So that address is 108.8. So I can ping to here. So all this is good in here. So pretty much from here, let me move this comment off the screen. So pretty much from here through here is all good. This is all good. Our issue is from here to here. This is where our breakdown in communication is. It's got to be something with this static route we have here on router 8. Are these labs available for anyone? Technically, not yet, or no. This is included in the premium level access on INE's website, which we are giving away 10 premium level subscriptions, 1-year subscriptions. We're giving away 10 premium level 1-year subscriptions to INE. The link for that and the code word is down in the description, so go sign up for that if you're interested. But these are only available to premium INE members. So, okay. let's take a look. Let me look at this route again here. So this is the static route that should be allowing it to work. No, it's not. So, because this route here is only directing traffic in this subnet to this interface. So this address here, this address of this interface, and this route here says anything trying to go to 155.110 go to this interface. So if I wouldn't be able to technically ping from here to here because it's not in there. There's no route statement for that. The route statement we have is, oops. It should work from here to here. Was what I'm seeing. Because the computer subnets are 155.110.0 or 155.110.8 for here. The route is known because it's directly connected to gig 1. Right. But what I don't get is, because I can't ping from this interface to this interface. So I'm wondering if I need to create a route statement. Did I just totally skip over that in my process? Yeah, I shouldn't need to. So that's what I don't get. Why can't from this? So let's do this again. Ping. 155.108.8. So I'm going to ping this interface right here. Source GI 0.2. Okay, so wait a minute, that did work. I wasn't able to ping this in. Maybe that's what I was. So I'm not able to ping that interface. But shouldn't it know the route because it is directly connected? So let's see. .10. So no, it's right there. I think something's wrong here. Something's screwy. This route statement saying this subnet here is directly connected to Ethernet 0. So it knows if it's trying to get to this address, from this address, it needs to go out GI or interface 1. should, yeah, it's a /24 on router 10 here. So these two, we have communication between these two, because if I was just to do that's what's not making sense to me. Is from this interface, why can't I ping this one, but from this interface I can? That's where I don't get. Right. You ask and you shall receive. My little land found it. Is he going to win the prize tonight? Let us know. I can see the wheels turning. Check your default route right here. It's pointing to router 8. 1, 2, 3. My default route looks proper. /24. Oh shit. Oh yeah. Yeah, I see. So my little land for the win. Yeah, for some reason, probably because I'm under the weather right now, I put a /24. I don't know if I need to actually do this. So I just issue the no. Let's get rid of that. Oh shoot. Don't mind me, guys. Okay, moment of truth. Just gonna go straight to host 8 and see if we can ping. Host 10. Boom. We have communication. We did it. See, little mistakes like that, little typo like that is enough to potentially take down an entire network if you weren't paying attention there. You know, and the troubleshooting steps, going through stuff like that is just a key skill. And sometimes it takes a second set of eyes. This was a great learning experience. For what should have been a really simple lab, this was a really fun exercise to work out. So I really appreciate it, my little land. Thank you. So awesome. Good practice stepping things out. Absolutely. And, you know, you guys see, everyone's human. They're bound to make mistakes, and you know, stuff like this happens. So 1 second here. So let's see. Should we do another lab? Now that we got this one done. Let me know, guys. Should we do another lab, or should we move on to something else? Let's see what else I could break. How long have we been streaming? It is 9:30. So how about we announce the winner, of the IT Foundation giveaway. I'm sorry, the IT Foundation, the Linux Foundation. Let me pull up, because the drawing is officially closed. The giveaway is officially closed for that one. So let's give away some stuff. All right. So we had a total of, 755 people enter, but only one will win. All right, let's pick the winner here. Sorry guys, it's going a bit slow. Almost got it. Keep on clicking the wrong button. Good morning. Where are you tuning in from, Root Keysec? It is 9:41 here, my time. We are just picking a winner for the Linux Foundation giveaway, the training bundle. All right, after we pick a winner here, we'll do another lab. How about that? Okay. So we have a winner here. Let's see. Okay, so for the Essentials of Linux System Administration Bundle, which is the course and the exam, a $575 value, we have Jabri J, or G, sorry. Congratulations. You are the winner. You're entry 305, the winner of the Linux Foundation Certified System Administrator giveaway. I will be reaching out to you by email with information about your how to claim your prize. Thank you again, guys. This was an awesome giveaway. Now, with that said, we still have our INE premium annual membership we're giving away. We're giving away 10 of those. And you guys still have plenty of time to sign up. The giveaway doesn't end until December 24th. So there's currently only 72 people entered in this giveaway. Let's actually pull this up on screen. So guys, the link is down in the description below for this giveaway. It is each membership is worth $749. This is a year premium subscription. So these labs you guys see us doing here on the stream, you get access to that. You get tons of online boot camps. You have the premium security course access and all that. So go click on the link. You will need this code word skills. I do believe that's in the description below. Go sign up. You have 7 days left to sign up for this. So I think we should do another lab. Let's go ahead and close this out and see if I can get another lab up here on screen. Okay. Reliable static routing, policy-based routing, EIGRP, a lot of EIGRP, or OSPF, troubleshooting multicast RPF failures, auto RP, bootstrap router. I see some really good labs. Client list SSL VPN configuration. Ooh, that actually kind of sounds fun. I think we'll just work down the list. Let's work through the reliable static routing. Keeping it easy for the live stream. My brain is my brain's a little fuzzy being under the weather. All right. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. If you're curious about if you're curious about IT certifications or anything like that, feel free to let me know. Let's see if I can get this lab working. There we go. Wonder if there's any labs I have to turn off and turn back on again. Well, there was one. Can I put my Twitter? Yes, absolutely. Here, I'll drop. Go ahead and do you one better. I will drop a link. I just dropped the link in chat to my Twitter. You're busy signing up for the INE giveaway. It is an amazing giveaway. I am so happy that INE gave us the opportunity to give away such a great thing. I mean, do the math. $750 times 10, because we're giving away 10 annual premium subscriptions. That's over $8,000, guys, of training that they are allowing me to give to you guys. So definitely go check them out. There's a link down in the description where you can sign up for a free starter course right now. Matter of fact, here. If you use this link I just put in chat, you can actually go over and create a free, get access to the free starter pass level, which gives you access to some of their training for completely free. So definitely go check that out. There we go. There's the link on screen. Nice and simple. Go to that link where you can get access to their free starter package. That there's no time limit. There's no like 30-day trial. There's no 7-day trial. The free account is forever. It's for life. And there's a lot of free training you can get through with that. So connecting to guacamole. Holy guacamole. I just love to see all these interfaces come up. It's like a Christmas tree or a bomb, whatever way you want to look at it. All right, let's see. What would they like us to do? Router 5 is pre-configured as DHCP host for host 5. Request a DHCP address lease with the udhcp CLI command on host 5. This should assign the address 155.1.5.100/24. Let's start off with that. If you win something, will you be able to put in for other stuff? Absolutely. So if any of you guys have won the past giveaways we've done, you're still eligible for future giveaways. There's nothing saying that you can't. We've already had someone win 2 different prizes. So definitely, just keep on entering the drawings. You were wondering if they were using guac on the back end? Yes, they were. Or are. All right, let's get this configured here. So host number 5, we need an IP address for this guy from this router. Hey, I just got on. Sorry, it's already been asked. But how has the log4j impacted yourself and your work? It hasn't been asked, and I have not seen any impact from it at all. Luckily, we didn't have any systems that were compromised or running log4j. We've actually configured everything differently, so it was zero impact for me, but it did bring awareness to things like that as well. And I'm actually been discussing with someone that we might actually have a special guest come on the show at some point next day or two to talk about log4j. Actually, let me just check. Okay, I didn't hear back yet, so but yeah, keep an eye out for an upcoming video talking about Log4j. And welcome to the stream. We're just working through some INE labs right now. So, what was I doing? Oh, we're going to get an IP address from DHCP. So we're going to UDHCPD or CPC. And we obtained the IP address we were expecting. So let's move on to the next step of this lab. Hopefully you guys can see this okay. Okay, maybe that's better. All right, router 4 and 5. Let's bring them up on screen. Where's router 4? It's edge 4. Router 4 and 5 are connected through a DMVPN over public transport and through a point-to-point Metro Ethernet connection. Using static routing, configure the network so that traffic between host 5 and the 155.1.146.0/24 subnet prefers to route over the DMVPN. Oh, mouthful there. Okay. So, I'm looking at what I need to do here. So, these two hosts here are connected with a DMVPN over public transport through a point-to-point Metro Ethernet connection. Using static routing, configure the network so that traffic between host 5 and the 155.1.146.0/24 subnet prefer to route through the DMVPN. Interesting. Oh. Madeline, most businesses I've interacted with have set up some kind of task force to address Log4j, even if it does nothing, then confirm that they aren't affected by it. Yeah, I mean, we did I guess I should have gone back and prefaced that with, we did do a quick look into our systems just to confirm that we weren't going to be affected by Log4j, and from what we can tell, we have no systems that are vulnerable to the Log4j. So let's see here. Using static routing, configure the network traffic between host 5 and the dynamic multipoint VPN. Yeah. So come on, pop back up. Just wanted to read that card. There we go. Okay. So we need to configure a static route between host 5 and the 155.1 subnet. Prefer to go over the DMVPN, the dynamic multi-point VPN. Let's just look at something really quick. Oops. Gosh. Don't mind me, folks. Just kind of gonna familiarize myself really quick with the configuration. You know, as more pressure goes on him, yeah. As much as I want to do this lab, guys, I think I'm going to bow out of it. I'm just not feeling 100%. My head's all fuzzy, and you know, I am here to answer questions, but I just don't think I have the mental capacity this evening, being 10 o'clock already, to go through the lab and not look like a complete idiot more than I already have tonight. So I think I'm going to call it quits for my labbing and practicing tonight. Not necessarily going to end the stream. I'm definitely here to talk and answer questions for you guys, but I think we're going to call it quits with this lab. As fun as it is, if you guys are interested in it, definitely click the link in the description. Go create an account with INE and you know, look into their labs and stuff. I'm just not 100% on. So if you guys have any questions you'd like to talk about on the stream, feel free to let me know. You can drop them in the chat and I will answer them live here on the stream. We also could open up the stream to invite any guests on as well. Let's go ahead and do that, because that was quite fun last time we did that. So if any of you are actually interested in hopping on camera and coming on the stream and talking, I just dropped a link in the chat, and you can ask any questions related to the IT field. You can, you know, I'll definitely be interested in what you do and kind of have you introduce yourself, but I'm just gonna open up the last bit of the stream to questions you guys might have about the IT field. I apologize, just running on too little sleep and getting over this cold has taken it out of me. Plus I got my flu shot today, which is really starting to kick me in the butt. So I'll wait a couple minutes to see if anyone has any questions, or if anyone's interested in hopping in the stream and talking. We can talk about anything, Log4j. We can talk about IT career advice you might have, or questions you might have, or anything. You've got a question, but you'll probably wait till next week. Feel free to ask if you'd like. Next week, we're going to have a fun live stream. I'm looking forward to next week. We're going to be working through some more labs. Actually, I'll kind of give you guys a sneak peek of what we're going to do. I should be on top of my game a little bit better. You may have guessed that we're going to be working on some Hack the Box. Oops. Don't look at that email address. We're going to be working through Hack the Box here, and working through setting up going through the starting point and going through all their missions and labs. We're gonna try to work through as many as we can while we're on the stream. So we'll see what we can do. And we're gonna start with the spawn machine and then work through all the tasks. So that's next week there. If you guys don't have any questions, I think we're going to end up wrapping up the stream here shortly. This is your chance to ask any questions you might have about the IT field, or get on the stream and talk about, the IT field as well. Anyone on here have big plans for the holidays? Christmas is right around the corner. Let's take a look here. Make sure I didn't miss anyone's questions. Ooh, say it isn't so. My little land, you're actually going to show your face on the stream? Oh, this is going to be good. I need to hit the record button. All right, this is a special treat. Good gifts for someone in the IT field. While we wait for my little land to hop on, absolutely. I'm going to drop a link here. Actually, let's see. So I created a list on Amazon of some good tech ideas and tech gift ideas, and once I can get there, here you go. You can go check it out. I also have some book recommendations if you are interested in giving books as a gift. I just dropped that link in chat as well. Oh, it looks like my little land is here.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Welcome. How's it going?
Yeah, it's all right. I literally was trying to find my camera to hook it up, and about died. I got two different computers.
Oh, that's not good.
A bunch of boxes, tripped over, scared the stuffing out of my wife. It was great.
That's awesome. Well, welcome. Never thought I was going to actually get you on stream here. How's it going?
It is going. My face is super bright in this. It's like, maybe I turn it down. Anyway, it's good to be
welcome.
on.
Absolutely. I'm glad you're here. Do you mind kind of introducing yourself to those of us who don't know who you are?
Sure. My name is Javin. I've been doing networking for like 16 years. I don't know, since like 2003. So for a while. Started in the military, then did some contract work, went to a production facility and worked on their networks and deployed voice over IP and stuff like that. Now I work for a healthcare company and loving that. There's a bunch of my toys that I like to play with behind me. I do videos and stuff like that, usually with like the little Raspberry Pi style devices. And yeah, I like geeking out, playing with stuff.
I was just going to mention your YouTube channel. I quite enjoy it. You know, you do quite a few different cool projects.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely.
I need to make more videos.
Absolutely. And here, I was actually going to try to pull it up and drop a link in chat. If you have a link, feel free to put it in there.
I think it's just YouTube / My Little LAN. It would help if I actually knew my own channel, right, guys? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
Here we go. You
Find
got
it
it?
too?
Okay. Yeah. I did. I'll drop it in, and that way it goes out to Facebook and Twitch as well.
Awesome. Yeah, I have a few other things that I'm going to be working on in there. I just haven't gotten around to doing it. Mainly because my office is a disaster, and Christmas stuff wherever that.
Yes. Now, actually, I do have a question for you. Looking at your YouTube channel, this device here before, I've seen it before. You want to explain it to everyone what this actually is up here?
So, what that is an R2S. It's a system on a chip, or a little Linux device, basically. I can run OpenWRT on it, Ubuntu, Debian. It's headless, so there's no video out. So basically, you program the micro SD card that fits in it, and set it up how you want it, and then get it online, and then you configure everything either through a web browser or through command line. But it's got two network interfaces, both gigabit. This one has micro USB power, but the current model has USB-C. They're both gigabit. You set them up however you want to. So right now it's the little metal case, if my thing would ever focus, says LAN and WAN. But you can configure them however you want to. It's a great little device. Yep.
Can you configure pfSense on it?
You can't.
Is it powerful enough?
It's not the powerful enough. It's just on an x86 processor, so it's a an ARM processor. So,
okay.
But it does run, like I said, OpenWRT, great, and you can use. What was it? I'm trying to remember the VPN that I was using on it, but I was able to get fairly good speeds. I don't remember exactly what they were, but they're in my YouTube videos.
Nice, awesome. So you work in the healthcare field. How is working in the healthcare field? Because every field is kind of different in the IT field.
Yeah, it's got a lot of red tape. There's a lot of, I mean, we have hospitals, so we're 24/7, right? So it's not like I can be like, I'm going to take down your network and fix, or upgrade it or whatever. There's a lot of coordination that goes into it. There's a lot of maintenance that goes into making sure that it is stable 24/7.
Absolutely. It's a huge responsibility because you're talking about people's lives there. So there's a little bit extra pressure there to make sure everything continues to run always.
Absolutely. A lot of life safety stuff, and we treat it as such. I enjoy it. It's different going from military at the beginning, where their whole thing is blowing stuff up and killing people, to essentially saving lives. It's a different type of mentality, idealism behind it. So I enjoy it.
Absolutely. What is your favorite part? What drew you to the IT field?
What drew me to IT? Oh man.
Yeah.
So way back in the day when I was in high school, I was always into computers, and they had a program called STRET, which is Students Recycling Used Technology. Mm-hmm. And essentially, we got everybody's old crappy computers ever donated, and we had to do something with them. So we were building them out and deploying them within the school. So the
Sorry, I was just noticing. If you guys can still hear us okay, let me know. Someone was saying that they lost all video and sound.
Uh-oh.
Let's take a look here. From what I can see, it's still up and running just fine. So maybe it's Maybe it's just that one person. Okay. Anywho, that's an awesome story, and it's kind of similar to my story, where I kind of found my love for technology back in high school. My high school offered a CCNA course, and that's where I learned networking and really fell in love with it, and developed a passion for it. Then kind of moved away from networking and just got a job to pay the bills. Worked in manufacturing, worked as a bulldozer operator, and finally got tired of just working for work, for a paycheck, and decided to finally do what I enjoyed doing. So, it's awesome to hear those kind of stories. I totally lost my train of thought. I apologize there. Like I said, I am just not on my A game tonight.
I feel like
where, huh?
I feel like a common trend in just about everybody I've seen you talk to has been they love the technology. They love getting in there and tinkering with things. And I think that's super important. If you're just in it for the money, you might have a hard time. Like, a lot of it is really digging in and finding a passion for it. I've lost my passion a few times and then it comes back, but it is good to have a passion in it to really accelerate your career.
Absolutely. And I can relate to that. When I first got into the field, I had a great job. I worked as an IT support specialist and kind of grew to be a jack of all trades. But I lost my passion about 2 years in. I was working insane amount of hours. I was traveling all the time. I was like away from family for like 3 months at a time. It was just miserable. And finally, I left that company, got another job, which was almost worse. As a network engineer, I hated it even more. And then I landed my current job as it was actually the title beforehand, which was a network operations center technician. And I really just fell back in love with it, and it really helped me, actually motivated me to come back to YouTube and start creating this content again for everyone, just because I found my passion again, found my flame, and really started enjoying what I was doing. And that hard work and that motivation paid off, because it was seen, and I was actually promoted to director of network operation in a very short period of time. It's not burnout is a typical thing in the IT field, and you just gotta be careful of it. So being able to identify it and see what needs to change to address it. So
Yeah. Again, congratulations on your promotion. That is stellar.
It is, and
That's
it's not typical. In 3 years time, going from no experience, no certifications, no college education, no prior work experience, to director of network operations. That's not an everyday case. It took a lot of hard work, determination, a lot of late night studying, to be able to get there, but it is possible. So
that's very cool.
absolutely.
I did see the question in there. Where do you think the tech will be in a few years?
The tech in general, like how everything's going, I don't really, there's going to be a lot of change. There's still going to be, I think, the continued push for the cloud. I think that move to the cloud is starting to throttle back. What do you think about that?
I see the cloud still picking up. I think that I look at things from my perspective. So I have a lot of voice and a network background, right? So voice is going voice over IP. Like, there's no stopping that. There's a lot of 2-wire guys out there still, but it's going VoIP. There will still be some. You still have to understand the fundamentals of 2-wire, but that's going definitely towards voice over IP, which is relying heavily on the network. So there will always be a network presence in a general network presence as it stands within companies, but there is the push to SD, software-defined WAN, software-defined LAN, stuff like that. That's coming. Knowing how to not necessarily program things, how to write code, but at least understanding how some of it functions is going to be absolutely critical.
Absolutely.
I think a lot more is going to become not dumbed down, but there will be a layer of obfuscation. Like you won't be able to see all necessarily the nitty gritty in the background.
Well, a perfect example of that, for those that are familiar, is Cisco Meraki products. Cisco Meraki is it's a product line of Cisco. It's an enterprise grade solution, but they have there is no possible way to get into the command line of these devices. It is all through a web-based out-of-band GUI that's cloud managed. So I think, these are super. I'm one of actually the few. I have a whole little area dedicated to my Cisco Meraki love, but it's definitely the future. But with that, some of the high level customization is gone. You lose it. You sacrifice it for the ease of use. It's great for small, really lean networking teams to be able to make quick changes and not have a good, a huge understanding, a huge knowledge of it. But yeah, absolutely. And as we speak currently in my job, we are both of our internal and customer facing voice is moving to the cloud as we speak. I just got done migrating our internal phone system to the cloud, and we are getting rid of our, we had an actual voice switch, and we're in the process of migrating that to the cloud as well for all our customers. So
good for you.
Yes, well, luckily I don't have to deal with that too much. My network operation center is getting quite small though. It's getting quiet. Less and less fans going of networking devices. But I'll go ahead.
The Meraki stuff is exactly what I was thinking when I was saying that. Yeah. There's a lot of it. I personally am an old school CLI guy. If I can do it in the CLI, I'm going to. Yeah. I'm not a fan of clicky. I understand the place that it has, and I understand that is where we're going for a lot of it. But even when there's a web, you have a GUI to click through. I'm asking the question: is there an API? Can I programmatically do something from text? And that's kind of where I look, just because it's so. I have a very hard time letting go of my personal biases against GUIs.
Yeah, understandable, and it's. I understand that completely, because when I took my CCNA, it was all CLI back in the day. I mean, there was a technical web interface on on these, but that's what I grew up in. That's what I understand. But I think it's only going to be a matter of time before access to that CLI is going to be completely taken away. I think these major companies, I've already seen it, they're going to force our hand to use at least like a web interface type of GUI, I think, eventually.
A lot of that, I think, is financially motivated. It's amazing when you say, well, everything has to be connected to our cloud, so it's now a subscription service. And
absolutely,
Meraki, after your subscription is done, they're boat anchors. I mean, it's not.
Yep. No, I completely understand. I have 2 full Meraki stacks, firewall, switch, and wireless. And I actually even have their cellular gateway solution that my licensing is ending on all of those. And it is so darn expensive. It's not cost effective for me to renew the licensing. And it's not like just you can't make configuration changes. It literally, you lose network access without that license. At home, I've actually switched over, but here in the studio, I'm actually still having to figure out a firewall solution that I'm going to go to. So,
it's really hard for me to see a lot of the stuff going subscription services. Even Cisco, like Cisco branded normal hardware, they have speed licenses that Absolutely. Are annual. You have to, and it hurts my soul a little bit. Like, I don't want the subscription stuff. I liked old school
Like,
stuff where you just put it in and it worked at whatever speed you could throw stuff at it.
yeah, it's just a one-time, perpetual type of thing, and yeah, it just worked. And it's frustrating because the device is capable of higher speeds, but it's like a pay-per-view service almost. Pay per packet is the way it's going to go. We did have another question here of AWS, Google Cloud, or IBM. Which certificates are good and why? Got any input on that one?
Honestly,
I see.
I prefer AWS, but that's just because I feel bigger enterprises tend to use it more.
Yeah.
Google Cloud is good because I believe that their training and the certification's free, but I could be mistaken.
Do believe so as well. At least their training is free. I'm not sure, 100% sure on the certification.
Which I personally use some Google Cloud stuff. So
yeah,
obviously,
same here.
AWS has the reputation and they are known for it. I'm not a fan of IBM.
Yeah.
I don't have anything against them, but it's just not my. IBM are the old guys. Yeah. And I'm sure that somebody's going to come in here and rip me a new one for saying that. But
no, I completely understand. Yeah, I think you're right. Like, my opinion is it would probably be the same. Is Azure is probably the cutting edge. It's what I see is kind of the used the most in the market. Then Google, then like Azure. I mean, Azure's popular with Microsoft apps. Like, if and they kind of almost force your hand there with the Microsoft 365 and Active Directories. I think Active Directory is going to be a matter of time before it's going to be no longer offered on-prem. I think it's going to move to the cloud.
I don't know if I'd go that far. I think it's going to be prohibitively expensive to offer on-prem, and they are giving nice discounts for licensing in Azure. I think I'd probably say AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, but that's purely pulling something out of my rear. I don't have a preference for any of them. But.
Neither do I. And like, personally, the only one I use is Google. And every employer is going to be different, so it's kind of hard to say which one's better, because it's like anything. You can be an expert on one solution and then work for an employer that doesn't use that solution and they use the other option. Yes, cloud is cloud and there are similarities, but there's still going to be nuances and differences that you're going to have to pick up along the way.
And to dive into that question and a lot of questions that have to do with certifications, go check out the local listings. Go look at the job you want and see. Oh, it looks like almost all of them are AWS, or 5 out of 10 are, and the other ones are Google Cloud. Then it's 50-50 shot. So use the job listings to determine which certification you should get, because certifications are cool, but honestly, it's the training behind them that's important. Getting a new job is the only reason you need a certification.
I've heard people say certifications are not for your current job, they're for your next job. And that, I used to not agree with that, but more and more I'm starting to agree with that. Because a lot of times they don't help you out in your current job, they help you get that next job. Even if it's with the same company, it's going to help you advance to that next level position. So
it's all about the training. And I had a discussion with my last boss, and I was, can I get training? And or certification is what I was going for at the time. I don't remember what it was. And he's like, we will pay for the training. We're not going to pay for your certification. And the justification was, we want you to know this stuff, but we don't care that you have a piece of paper showing that you know it, because, well, you're doing it. Like, that's going to be your thing. So I was like, you know what? That's super fair. And honestly, them paying for a certification is just something for me to put on my resume for my next job.
That is a good way to look at it. And it's funny because my first employer was almost the exact opposite. I could not convince them to pay for the training, but they were willing to pay for the certification, given that I passed the certification. Or more or less, they were willing to reimburse me for the cost of the certification, which is kind of the standard I typically see nowadays is, oh, we won't pay for you to train, But if you happen to get the certification and pass, we'll reimburse you. So
Which
it's
is
frustrating.
nice, as long
It's
as there's no
nice.
strings attached.
Yeah, that no strings attached. Like you have to work for the company for the next 5 years.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Yes, absolutely. That is not uncommon.
And yeah, I'm always super paranoid about that. So I pay for almost all my Yeah, pretty much all my certifications I pay for out of pocket. So,
I mean, funny you mentioned that. I attended a class down in San Francisco at Cisco Meraki headquarters, and it was quite expensive. I mean, the class was free, but the flight down to San Francisco, the hotel for a week was like $3,000 for this hotel out of The Shining. Seriously. And had to rent a car. There was meals and all that. And my work agreed to pay for all this, but before I went, one of the owners came into my office and sat down, and she was like, okay, this trip you're going on is adding up. I need to make sure you're not going to go take this training and leave us anytime soon. And luckily she didn't make me sign any paperwork, but she kind of put me on the spot. It made it kind of awkward, to be honest with you. But yeah, I mean, that is a real thing that some employers, if they pay for your certification and you leave within a year, you have to pay that certification cost back. So just got to be mindful of that. So
absolutely, it is an investment into yourself.
It is. So what? Oh, go ahead.
Nope, sorry, I was grabbing my my I Love Me book. It's all my certifications.
Oh wow! I was just about to ask you what kind of certifications you have.
My active ones, the ones I know are active still, are my CCNA. Just have a normal CCNA that I've had since I don't know, a long time ago. I'll look through my book and find it in a little bit, but I have the CCSP, which is ISC squared, Cloud Certified Security Practitioner, the SSCP through them, which is, I don't even know. It's their kind of entry level. That's ISC squared's entry level. And all my CompTIA expired earlier this year, I think. I wasn't going to renew them. I got a lot of these with WGU. So
nice.
Again, with having so much experience in my background, I'm not too terribly concerned about a company saying I need you to have a CompTIA cert. I'll go retest for it and get it again if I need to. But
right.
For the most part, it's just I got some and then just kind of let them all expire. But yeah, I've Security Plus, let's see. EC Council Encryption Specialist. There's a CIW Web Security Associate. I got all kinds of weird certs in here that, yeah. Oh, System Security Certified Practitioner is a SSCP. I have a Cloud Essentials Plus from CompTIA. I got to sit in on their beta exam for that one. That was kind of cool. But,
that is awesome.
Yeah.
See, right now, I mean, the only true certification I have is my CompTIA A+, which expires the 15th of next month. I am going to try to take my Linux Plus exam before then to renew. I'm going to push it out really as far as I can, just because I haven't had a lot of time to study. I mean, I use Linux on a day-to-day basis, and I'm in the command line dealing with servers. But it's the little things the setting file permissions and stuff like that you don't do on a day-to-day basis. You can do, but you might have to Google it really quick. You know what I mean? Things like that.
Yep.
I don't quite have memorized. And that's the only thing that has me worried about taking the actual exam. So I took a test exam. I did pretty decent. I could probably pass it. I know enough to be dangerous, but yeah, I'm going to try to take it and hopefully I pass, because I just kind of want to keep my A+. I mean, it's silly. I'm a director of network operations. An A plus means absolutely nothing. It's like down here. Um, but I just kind of think it's cool to keep my certification current.
Sure. I think you should.
Yeah.
Again,
So,
I don't, because it's a personal choice for me. I don't
yeah.
necessarily want to work in a position that requires me to have an A plus, if that
Yeah.
makes any sense.
Oh, absolutely. And that A plus will really never open. It's opened the doors it needed, but it will never open the door for me again. But you know, I'm using it. I'm using it as a motivation point to get my Linux Plus, because the Linux Plus I think is a lot more of a use. It is a useful cert, and it is current to me because I deal with Linux administration on a day-to-day basis. So that is just, it's just a little motivation for me. After my Linux Plus at the first of the year, I'm going to go after Juniper's JCINS certification, pretty much Juniper's CCNA equivalent, because we are a Juniper employer. Like we have solely Juniper equipment, so it makes sense for me to go to Juniper track. Again, my work is paying for the training and the certification, so why not?
That's awesome.
But I'm going to dive deep down that path and that rabbit hole. Like I mean, I definitely would prefer to take the Cisco equivalent, the actual Cisco certification, but it just kind of seems pointless to me. So in my current position,
yeah. If I didn't have to work on Cisco, I wouldn't keep my CCNA. Honestly, I'd probably let that expire at this point too.
And in all honesty, if I did plan on going for a job that in the future that required me to have a CCNA, that at that point I'd just go take the exam beforehand, and I have the knowledge, because the CLI is similar. There's very subtle differences in between the two CLIs. So as long as you're not using the JWeb interface, the Juniper's GUI.
They scowl about that. Looks like you got another question too.
Yes, I do. I was actually just looking at that. Does the information change that much that someone needs to keep up on their certifications, or would you recommend waiting till there are major changes? It depends on really each person's. I think it depends on their positioning and what they're doing in their career. If, like the A plus, in all honesty, it makes no sense really for me to keep up my A plus, because I am doing things beyond that. Does the information change that much? Yes, absolutely. Just to answer it directly, it does. That's the reason certifications expire. Is most certifications out there are good for, on average, 2 to 3 years, and in that amount of time, there's typically major changes. So I'm kind of curious on your input on that.
Oh yeah, I think that the information changes. However, I mean, like I said, I've had my CCNA for forever, right? So a lot of mine was recerting using, I got the CCNA voice, and so I recerted using that. So I haven't actually taken the CCNA test since like 2006, I think. Maybe.
Right.
Yeah, I think it was like 2006. So I actually couldn't tell you what's on that CCNA exam anymore. But as far as like A plus, I mean, A plus used to go back into some deep old stuff. We're talking like AT power supplies and like ISA stuff on the boards, and old school. I don't know that they do that anymore.
When I took mine about 3 years ago, yeah, they actually still dived into that a little bit. It was, I remember, I mean, I can't give away exact, but I remember it was still an exam topic. Let's put it that way.
Right.
So yeah, it still does. Because you still see that technology out there. That's the thing. A lot of these employers aren't necessarily upgrading their technology, and they're using outdated systems. It would not surprise me one bit today to walk into a random employer that of decent size and see a Windows XP system or a Server 2003 system. I can name a big corporation off the top of my head that is running a Windows 2003 server. So, still, and that, how long has that been at end of life? I mean, it is ridiculous.
Absolutely. And waiting for major changes. I am a fan of taking the old test, and the reason for that is all of the training materials available. So if you're at like,
And it's been refined, and it's, all the kinks are worked out of it.
So if you're on the cusp of the new test, I always take the old one.
Well, because an A+ is an A+. Whether you take, like, I took the version 900 series A+. Now they're on the 1000 series, and I think they're probably actually due to come out with another one here pretty soon. A+s are typically every 3 years to come out with a new certification, but your employer is never going to ask you, "Oh, did you take the new A+, or did you take the old A+?" So,
one singular example that I will, or that differ to that, is ITIL. ITIL has different certifications. Theirs don't expire, but I took the version 3.
yeah.
Now they're on version 4, and I'm guessing that there's enough of a difference for them to have done that versioning. But that is something, because it doesn't expire, you can go into a business and they might be like, "We want you to have version 4."
That is true. You are correct there. So, but like the CCNA, they're not going to ask you. Well, the CCNA went through a major change though, too. What was that? It was about 2 years ago. They got rid of the CCENT and the ICND one, and came out with the. So if you have an old CCNA, they might ask, but and chances are they probably don't.
If you go in and look mine up, it still says CCNA Enterprise Active. I think it's Enterprise now, because it used to be CCNA Route Switch. Now I think it's Enterprise, but it says Active. That's all they're going to check.
Because that CCNA, before a CCNA, you could do a CCNA voice, CCNA whatever. Now it's just a CCNA, and then you have CCNP voice, Route Switch, Enterprise, whatever.
I'm super sad about the voice one. I had that next.
The collab.
It went away. Yeah, collab. Now it's collab, I think.
Yeah, CCNP collab. Why don't you go get your CCNP collab?
I don't do voice here. So my current role, I don't do voice. I still work with the voice team because I have a background in it, but it's not my normal.
Nice.
So that's why I don't do it.
Yeah, I was, funny enough, every single employer I've worked at, I wanted to study Cisco voice, Cisco collab, CCNA collab, but every single employer I worked at, just by happenstance, used my telephone systems. So, I never ended up studying that side of the business. I learned it, I self-taught, but I never went down that road. Question here: what is Cisco Voice? Cisco's phone system solution. Is the easiest way. So Cisco has an IP,
VoIP.
Yes, thank you. Solution, and it's Cisco's version of it, and you can get certified. It's a CCNP collaboration certificate that covers their voice solution, among other things. So,
I had a CCNA voice from June 5th, 2012. So that's how long ago I got my CCNA voice, and they've retired it since then. So I now only have a CCNA. But yeah, that's when I was doing voice stuff. It was a lot of fun. I loved it.
One thing I'm kind of a little disappointed in is, going back to Cisco Meraki, I became a huge Cisco Meraki fan because I was in charge of the Cisco Meraki deployment, our network, for the company I worked for, which had 18 different hotels, and we were using SD-WAN, and I really took ownership of it. And they actually started to come out with a voice solution for Cisco Meraki, and just as they started rolling it out, they canned the entire product line, went away from voice and all that. So they had some pretty cool devices they were using because it was all cloud-based. And I really think they shot themselves in the foot, because now we have companies like Ring Central, 8x8, and all that that have really taken over that market share. So
Cisco is also working towards pushing people towards their hosted solution, I believe. So
yeah,
I'm wondering if that would have taken away too much of the market share from themselves, because most people that do VoIP is either Avaya. So if you do big boy VoIP, if you do really big VoIP, it's going to be usually Avaya or Cisco. I hate Avaya with
A lot of people do.
fiery passion.
Yeah.
But I mean, Cisco, they made it so easy back in the day. So
Absolutely.
I tore out a lot of Avaya systems back in the day.
I've never used their systems. I just been lucky. So, but yeah. Well, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. Did you have any other topics you wanted to talk about while you're on here on stream?
Not really.
Not really.
Just kicking it. It's Friday night. Obviously, this is how I party.
Same here. Same here. You don't want to go into details about the Log4j. I mean, everyone's an expert on it right now.
Oh, I am not in a security role here, so there's a certain I try to stay in my lane as much as possible, because if you do a bad job good, that becomes your job as well. So I'm trying to stay in my lane and not get too deep in the weeds on other people's stuff, because I try not to be a jerk and be like, hey, you should do this too. You should probably look into that.
You don't want to be the backseat IT driver?
I'm trying my best not to. It's hard, though. It's really hard.
Since my little land's already here, will there be a Discord chat afterwards? I'm not too sure. It is already, gosh, it's 11 o'clock. This is kind of our Discord after party, just kind of keeping it going. So I mean, if anyone else wants to hop on stream, let's just do it here on the chat, on the actual main stream. Because I think after this, I was actually supposed to record a video after this, but I think I'm going to push that out till tomorrow and get some sleep today. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you push the after party enough on these live videos.
I think I should. Well, we could just end the stream right now and push everyone to Discord.
It's fun. It's good to have new people hop in there and say hi. And
Absolutely.
It's just
okay. I take
chat.
that back. We will have the after party on Discord after the stream. Oh man, Log4j is bad. Almost all the bugs that get huge publicity always attract people who have no idea what happened with VRX dev, and they have to add their hot takes. I'm kind of surprised. Log4j, it is a serious vulnerability. Don't get me wrong. It is CSV 10. It is about as bad as they come. But it seems like it's getting a lot more publicity than other vulnerabilities like it out there in the past have. You know what I mean?
I think it's just how widespread it is. Because
it is.
Java's in everything, and
Absolutely.
It sucks.
It's almost like how, rewind about 10 years ago, Java is equivalent to Flash. How Flash was in everything and still is in everything. Even though it is technically dead as a doorknob, there's tons of systems out there that still solely rely on Flash.
Yeah.
So it is a major thing, and I'm really actually hoping sometime this weekend I have someone I want to interview actually to talk about Log4j on the live stream and can actually break it down what it is and give some insight take on it. Cool. It's bad because the people could trigger it without auth, and it was so trivial, wide impacting. Reminds me of Image Magic got popped. Hold on one second here. I almost looked like there was someone else that joined the stream here, but guess not. Okay. Anywho, I think we're going to wrap the stream up and start the after party over on Discord. I should drop the link to the Discord's down in the description, but I'm going to drop a link here in chat. This week's stream was kind of unplanned. Like I said, I've been under the weather, got a cold from my little ones, and just haven't been 100%. So plus we've been doing some really cool giveaways. You said you signed up for the INE giveaway, right?
I finally did. Yeah, I wasn't going
Awesome.
to. I'm not studying for anything.
It's
But
a
you
great
know what?
certification.
I might have to.
It's a great. Yeah.
I can find something to learn about on there. That's not going to be a problem.
They offer so many different things, and I've been watching actually a lot of their live streams they've been doing, and they have a lot of cool things that they're coming out with. There's even more things they've kind of told me that I'm not allowed to talk about it whatsoever, that they're coming out with that makes it even that much more valuable. So
that's awesome.
It's really cool, and they've actually became my favorite. For those of you who have watched my live streams or my channel for a long time, I used to always talk about CBT nuggets. They're kind of my favorite, but INE is actually kind of quickly taking that spot just because the way they interact with their customers, and they really care, it seems like, about their customers in no other way that any other e-learning platform does. They just kind of go above and beyond. So I think that's cool. I have a soft spot for that. I would rather work with a nice company that gives back to the community, that might not have the newest and greatest software, training, but they're still plenty good enough, than work with a company that just is in it for the money. You know what I mean? That's just me. So anywho, I think we're gonna wrap up this stream. It's been 2 hours. I really appreciate you hopping on, and thank you for your help with that lab. And like I said, that was fun. I definitely plan on doing more of those in the future. I used to do those all the time, actually, on my own equipment. I used to build my own labs and set up problems and stuff like that. But absolutely. So guys, I put the link to the Discord server. If you're not a member, go and join. We're gonna have an after party over there. You can hop on cameras and chat a little bit more low key, and it's a little bit more loose and PG-13 rated. So a lot more fun. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. Until next time, take it easy.